Hi guys, Jurassic Junkie here, and if I was a PlayStation 3, take an update just to watch me. Welcome to the Friday Night Rant. So yes, PlayStation 3, wow. Well, first let's get the sponsors drink out of the way, and I shall touch upon my PlayStation 3 experience. So this week we are sponsored by this, and you may be thinking, oh, what is in it? It could be vodkas, it could be a whiskey and gin or something crazy. What's in it? Well, I'll tell you. Honey and lemon in hot water. Hot water. That is really bad. But yes, I'm drinking honey and lemon in hot water because one, it tastes really, really nice, and two, I've just stopped drinking alcohol for a little bit because the Friday Night Rant is going to cause my liver to fail very quickly. But no, it isn't. It's, like I said a week ago, 2 weeks ago even now, that I stopped smoking, and as of tomorrow I shall be 2 weeks free of smoking. So just to help myself along, I'm not drinking any beer. Moving on then, PlayStation 3. So yes, I've been playing some exclusive titles. I've even played Deus Ex, which isn't an exclusive, on the PlayStation, and my overall experience of PlayStation it's absolutely awesome, and I should have got one sooner, which is great. That's a good experience. But the second I first got the PlayStation, turned it on, obviously you got your initial updates, which I expected. Like, most of the updates was probably to do with the hacking. Obviously a firmware's been pushed out, and that's probably been sat in the box for so many months, and I'm pulling down the latest firmware, and I can accept that, and that's not a problem whatsoever. The issue I have is because I'm used to, on the 360, when I chuck a game in, it does a megabyte update, and even if I put a game in and I get it out 6 months later, put it in, there's probably another megabyte update, and it is just going to disconnect me from the party chat for all of 2-3 seconds, and then I'm straight back in there, and that's the kind of updates that I'm used to. And like, I put in, I don't know what one of the first games was that I put in, and it just sat and says it was getting an update, and then on top of it, it started installing. Whereas on the 360, you never really see the installing side. It says just downloading it. It's just done. It's just the 0 to 100% is the entire process, not broke down into bits. And PlayStation's like, right, we're downloading, now we're installing, and it's just a breakdown of different things. And I put in Heavy Rain last night. I came in, I thought, I really fancy some of Heavy Rain. It's dark, just in the mood for it now, so I chucked it in, and the thing is, I was quite sleepy. I thought I can probably get an hour gaming out of myself before I fall asleep. So I put that in, and it said it needed an update, and it was a 1.1 gigabyte update. I can't understand what needs to be updated that big. Like, if it was massive download content, that's fair enough, 1.1 gig is justifiable. But for an update, and after looking on the internet and what it kind of pointed to once it booted up, it was the actual Move attachment to it. So obviously they built Move into Heavy Rain, and they've pushed it out, but they forced me to download it. Then once it downloaded, I had to wait for it to install. So the entire process probably took 30-45 minutes. So by then, it was like 11 o'clock at night, and I'm like, do I really fancy playing this? So I chucked it on, got about 15 minutes into it, and then forced myself to play a bit longer. But like, that's a good chunk of the night gone, just waiting for it to do these updates and installs. I just can't understand. So yeah, that's the only problem I can say about the PlayStation 3, is I just feel like I'm waiting a long time. And friend James, he had mod racers, and because his internet connection is terrible, he had to do a few updates and installs, and it took him 6 hours to actually get into the game, which is a bit of a joke. And a lot of people might say, yeah, well, just don't connect to the internet when you do it. That's not an excuse. I don't want workarounds, it's just a sad thing that works. It works that way even. And a very crazy thing, this is like, sounds like I'm changing my argument from Nintendo now, aiming it at Sony, but no, I'm very impressed by the hardware. Just one other thing I thought was quite stupid of them was when I was playing Uncharted, Joe goes, oh, do you know if you go to your settings, there's a pixel blurring option? I was like, right, let's just trigger it and see what the difference is. So I was playing on the game, I click my PlayStation button, menu just comes up, settings, pixel blurring, yes or no. So I went, no. Game turned off, the whole lot, straight back to the dashboard, and then it did what it asked to do. It never says, warning, if you do this option, you will lose your save game. It didn't say any of that. Just like, you press yes to pixel blurring, and we're taking you straight out of this game, so bang, and it was gone. So, another little thing I'm like, meh, but don't get me wrong, I could put the Xbox on and moan at different things about that. In fact, one thing, my controller's just died again. That's the second controller, so nice one, Microsoft. But it's good now, because it feels like my rants are actually aimed at everybody now, not just Nintendo. Stop for some lemon. Right, the big berry this week is Dead Island. It's not the game itself was the issue, it was the entire getting the game. And what it was is I had ordered this from Amazon, and I ordered it for enough one day before it was supposed to be released, so I didn't expect to get it straight away. But the thing is, when I went to put my order in, it said it was in stock, so I ordered it. It said it will be with you on Monday. I was a happy customer. Then around Monday I got an email from Amazon simply saying that they had fallen short of the order and it won't be coming to me for a month. And I was like, right, for one, I'm not happy with that, and two, I want something off you now. So I cancelled my order straight away and I sent him an email. I says, don't get me wrong, I can understand sometimes you don't get your stock levels, that's fine. But for instance, if I'm paying a bill and say my money fallen short that month and I couldn't pay my electric bill or my mortgage, then I get charged a fine. And I'm okay with that because that's how the world works. I'm like, I didn't give you what I promised to in the contract, so as a result my penalty is I pay a fee. Happy. So I said exactly that to Amazon, says that's the way the world works, so I think you should give me a goodwill gesture, which they did, £5. And it's not an amazing amount, but nonetheless it's worth arguing and just saying, no, you did wrong there, so I've got an additional £5 and my money back again, so I've got a nice little pot there to buy another game. So with that, I was like, okay then, cut my losses, I'll go into town and go and buy it. So I went in and walked straight into the first shop, which was Gamestation. Went in there and I was just expecting to see Dead Island all across the shelves. And there was something there on PlayStation, but there wasn't there on the Xbox. And I thought, well, that's quite weird. And then I looked at the PlayStation prices and it was $49.99. So I walked straight up to the guy and I says, what's just happened? Why is Dead Island missing and expensive? He says, just a sellout everywhere. Like, no one can get hold of them. Xbox is sold out completely. That's it, you won't be getting it today kind of thing. I was like, shit. So I started to panic. So I went straight to Game, sold out. Granger Games, H&V, went to the old lot. Nowhere's got them. They've all got them for PlayStation, but because they know the Xbox did so well, what's left of the PlayStation ones, they've chalked up between £40, £45 and $49.99 for the game, which is just terrible. It's so bad of them to just go, right, we're going to mark this up at £40, and then as soon as it does well, I'm like, let's put this up at 50. It's just, I wanted to burn the shop when I see him do stuff like that. That's really bad. But anyway, with that in mind, I thought, obviously, gamers are running around trying to grab these Dead Island copies. So I thought, where would a gamer not look? So we went straight for Curry's. And looking enough, there was one copy in Curry's, and because they don't know the prices, I think it was £38, which isn't too bad, really. So I actually got it. But yeah, it's just annoying that, for one, they've put the prices on. And the other funny thing, which I think's weird, like, for people in America, you won't know the difference between Game and Gamestation, but a lot of you always moan about GameStop. And for me, Game is like your GameStop. Went into Gamestation, and I spoke to somebody, and he just started talking to me about Dead Island. This is before I had it. Then he went on to talk about some demos he had downloaded, and we just started talking about RPGs. Kicking back, 10-15 minutes was in the store, just talking about absolute gaming crap. And then I says, cheers mate, that was it when I brought my PlayStation and walked out with it. Never spoke to the bloke again. That was a good experience in a game shop between gamers. Then I went to Game the shop, and it's just a completely different experience. Walk straight in there, guy, suit, walk straight up. Hello sir, could I pre-order you anything? I'm like, f off. And then when I was on the phone, I was really pissed off because obviously I couldn't find Dead Island. And I was phoning my friend and saying, I can't believe I can't get it. And the fucking bastard walked up to me while I've got my phone and just went, do you need any help? And I just wanted to say, yeah, some fucking c*** is in my face, f*** off. So yeah, it just shows that Game is just not a shop for gamers. It's more, it feels like a shop for mums that don't know anything about games, and they hear the word game and go, that's where I must get my son's birthday present from. It's just a horrible experience. So if you're from America and you come to the UK, don't shop in game, don't feed them. So Dead Island then, is it worth buying, you might say? Yes. Yes, it is a great game. Single player, I don't know if it's going to be any good. They're both online and single player identical. But together, it's so much fun. Just before I left to film this, we had gone down into a bunker, and as we was going down, my friend tripped off the alarms. So my mate James was just going, oh shit, the zombies are going to come. So we quickly shut the doors, running around frantically, really panicking to try and shut this alarm off, and we did. And it went quiet, and we thought there's going to be zombies outside. So we got our best weapons out, opened the door very slowly, no zombies. Okay, this is good. And as we walked out, there was a big zombie somewhere, don't know where he was, but he just went, "Rrr!" And it was just sheer panic because we was walking so quietly, and then you could just hear this zombie. The first thing we did is just like turn round and then seen each other and just started hitting each other because we was just sheer panic, and we did to scream down the headset. And it is a quite frightening game at parts. It's really, really good. Me and James was running down the beach, and he went off to kill a zombie and didn't tell me that he wasn't with me. Now he's running, just turned around and there's a zombie there, and it's just a very good game. It really is good fun. So people are going to bash it left, right and centre, say it's got glitches, and it has. I've experienced a few glitches. For instance, the inventory menus could be a bit better. When you come to sell items, it don't tell you what you've already got equipped, so it's quite hard to determine what your good and bad weapons are really. So this is just a few little glitches, but I think the game is like a few patches away from being a very, very good online multiplayer game. So a new word has been born. We get these different trends that go around on the internet, such as planking and owling and different things, but you may not have heard of swatting. So swatting is the new thing, but it's not like you would stand in front of a camera pretending to swat. It's an action, what people do over gaming. And swatting is the new trend apparently, which consists of where kids get raged on Xbox Live or PlayStation Network, whatever it be, and when they get angry, instead of just shouting down the headset or sending a bit of trash talk in a personal message or anything like that, they find the address of the person that's angered them, and they phone the police and tell them that they've got claymores in their house. Yeah. So apparently this is the new trend. You haven't got to just say claymores, you've just got to dob somebody in with a fake lie, then you've swatted. So apparently the latest person that swatted was a young kid that was actually arguing against an Xbox Live mod. How this kid got this mod's address, I don't know, but nonetheless he phoned up the police and says the mod was holding hostages and a house full of claymores, and the icing on the cake was he has a red flashing light device in his house, which I thought was quite a nice little touch on top of it. But yes, and then obviously the police have to take everything as serious. They go, trash down the door, check you've not got claymores, but you've been slightly humiliated by that little on the end of the internet. So yeah, that's the greatest, latest craze, swatting. So watch yourself if you're trash talking to some 12-year-old that does know your address. So that's it. Every week I always say, sorry for being short. It works out to be about 15 minutes every time, so I don't know if I'm on time today. And I'm going to knock it on the head now, just simply because I've been saying for the last couple of weeks, gaming Unity, gaming Unity, gaming Unity, and fingers crossed we're going to launch it tonight. So I'm going to quickly jump off now and have a chat with Andy on Skype and see if we kind of killed all the bugs that we can find. So fingers crossed, maybe another video later on tonight saying join us. But that leaves us then to the question of the week, and I'm going to just go down the zombie route because I bloody love killing zombies. There's nothing better than stamping on a zombie's face. And the question of the week is, if the zombie apocalypse. The question of the week is, if a zombie apocalypse ever happened, what would your tool of choice be? So I'll have to go with a machete, just simply because blades don't need reloading. So what's your choice of weapon against the undead? No, 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 no! Thank you very much for watching, guys. Cheers.